Defemember. It's the most wonderful time of year in the messy junk room. It's a collaboration between Louisa Hensel and Barbara at 49 Dragonflies, and this is their 5th year doing this Defemember inspiration in December. And I'm so excited that I'm participating again in my messy junk room for this year. So let's take a moment and go down Defemember memory lane. Welcome to the messy junk room where we create whatever. I love Defemember. Barbara at 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Hensel have been doing this for 5 years. This is their 5th year. It's an incredible time of daily ephemera inspiration in December with prompts, and they do videos on their YouTube channels, and it's just a great time to explore and try new things, and I just love it. They started in 2021. I don't have their prompt list for that, and that year I was just starting to get into junk journaling from many years of scrapbooking, and I didn't feel very confident. So I watched all their videos, got lots of inspiration, and said one day I really want to do that. The next year I got brave and I joined in, and you can see my playlists for the last 3 years down below. They started with creating a junk journal. This is 2022 junk journal, and every day they have prompts. They did videos to give us inspiration, and I just loved it. I would never put these things together or think of some of these things. I learned very quickly though that this ended up being too big and not what my vibe became with the bright colors and everything. But it was a learning experience and I loved it, and we're gonna go through this in a minute. The second year that I joined in, which was 2023, they introduced little Effie, had weekends off and spare days and didn't do a video every day. And we did a different type of journal, and I don't like this one at all, but lots of inspiration in here. So we're going to take a look at that. My favorite one was last year's Deliciousness. As you can see the difference in size. Well, maybe you can't because this one's off screen. It's so big. But I loved this one. This year, they're doing things a little bit differently. Again, they're always keeping it fresh and exciting. And this year, they're not making a journal. They're making ephemera for a journal down the road. I thought we could start with last year's 2024 Defemember inspiration in December. And I really like this journal. It's soft, it's squishy, and it's packed with deliciousness. This is made out of a brown paper bag. I always keep the prompt list for that year tucked away somewhere so that I can refer back to it. I used a Digi for some of my pages. And this particular year, I did go Christmas all out. This is not for Christmas. It is for anybody to participate at any level of crafting, but it's not Christmas based. But you can go that route if you celebrate Christmas, and so this was the year I decided to do that. Oh, grungy. I love grungy. Let's just look at how this works. Day 2, altered playing card. Here's my altered playing card. Turned it into a pocket. And antique keys. And so I have an antique key there. Trust the process. And then I just added some little things in here. But this is, oh my goodness, I know it's very glary, but these tiny itty bitty playing cards. Go in there. That was fun. Hard to do. Time consuming to do, but lots of fun. A little cluster. Oh, they often give freebies throughout the month of December, and this was one of the freebies that I just did a cluster and put in some little tidbits there. Just some scrapbook stuff. I used the cover fabric as a belly band. Here's little Effie. Oh, he came out quite often. Look at that. He's so cute. That was a lot of fun. This was another prompt. That was a freebie from Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. If you watch her channel, she ends every video with a kiss from the pandas. So you would do the 2 prompts, interpret that any way you wished. Then we had a postcard. Is this anything? Yes, it is. That would have been a prompt. Another little cluster. This was fun to make. So as you can see, I went Christmassy. Lots of gold. Barbara loves gold. Little cluster here. Oh, this is me. That was a prompt photo frame. Hard to say. This particular year, I didn't number the prompts. Oh, this is definitely a prompt. I think this is a little pocket here. So much fun. Pocket. I think this is a pocket in there. Belly band with a notepad, an envelope, and then in here, that was a freebie. Put it in there. This one was definitely a prompt. I think it's the photo frame. I saw it, and steampunk butterfly. So the 24th. That was fun to do. Oh, this was fun to do. That's definitely a prompt. Made out of jean pocket and a very solid background. And that's just got lots of glittery things in it. This was another prompt. Photos and film strip. I probably should go back and write what the prompts were. That would be very helpful. Just a little flappy flap here. Turned into a pocket. Corner pocket with just some fun stuff that I tucked away. This is an envelope. Bubble print on it. Another just little cluster. This was a prompt. It's a sliding tag, and I think there's something on the back. No, not really. That's just the tag. Whew. That was fun. This time, Defemember, this is a photo frame prompt, was just a way to explore new techniques that you normally don't do. Lots of growth as an artist during Defemember. Tag. Card, a journaling card there. Lots of texture throughout the pages. Oh, this was definitely a prompt. And a belly band. Another envelope and cluster. And that's the end of last year's, and it's my favorite one. Maybe because it's Christmas, maybe because it's small and squishy, I'm not sure. But that was last year's. Now if we come to this one, little Effie's main appearance. Or I think this is when they introduced Effie. There he is there. And lots of freebies this year. And again, one of their freebies. And then the prompt list. Very fun. And it just sits in there. And again, this was just watching Barbara and Louisa and trying to copy things, explore different things. So this was a treat one. What one was this one? Again, forgotten snacks. I did label some of these. Halloween meets Christmas. Spaghetti box window. This actually comes out. It's supposed to, but it's pretty snug in there. This was a different binding method. Never really liked this method. It has its advantages, but not my favorite. Vintage meets modern. I'm a vintage all the way, so doing modern, bright, bold colors is hard. Just putting some of the freebies in there. This was salvaged birds. Oh my. This moves around. Magical creatures. Sweet. This comes out. Oh, looks like I need a little repair there. And then this slides out, and there's the magical creature with Effie. Turned into a writing spot on the back. Some extras. This was recycled fairy. Lots of bling. A little pocket with some of their freebies and just some other pieces. Clocks and wings. I turned that into a belly band. One of their freebies. So I went with wintry in this one. Mushroom robots. Some crazy combinations here. This one, me and my crush. So this is a nail. It's very bulky. And I open it up, and my crush is Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. My artist crush. Don't know what that's from. Just a little tuck spot there. Little belly band. Some of the leftover stuff. Kintsugi house. So that's where gold. It's a Japanese art form where they broke in clay and they put it together with gold and it turns into something beautiful. And this is a house with a house envelope. And then plaid and polka dots. And this actually comes out. I remember Louisa doing this one. And some pockets. Nature's Treasure. And the end. So I would do this a little bit differently next time. But again, it was a learning experience. Now for 2022, my first year, and this big gigantic one, what I started to do was I started to do the Advent calendar, because I love doing the Advent calendar and opening up boxes every day. And so I started with Marlene. I think it's in here. Art by Marlene. And she did an Advent calendar box. It was the last year she did that big box, and it was delicious. And then she went to a tin box with stencils, and I did that for the last 2 years, but she's not making the Advent calendars anymore. So I have to go to another idea. Let's jump into this one. Again, the prompt list, and this particular year was animals. So they've done something different every year. Animals, snacks from around the world. And these were freebies, and these were some of my extra ones, so it just tucks in there. These pages are huge. So this 13, I put the numbers. So for example, 13 is acetate and a banner. And so my banner is this stuff here. Oh. There we go. He's supposed to be under there. And there's a pocket in here behind the acetate. And I used all kinds of different papers in here, different sizes, different envelopes. Here's prompt 25. This is bright, bold colors. Not really my jam. This is prompt 16. It's the generations of raccoon. The prompt was packaging an index card booklet. So I made a booklet of the raccoon family. We have prompt 21. This is a tea bag, pockets, very fragile now. This sort of became my idea book, and so I started putting things in here. This is my jam, vintage all the way. Kind of doesn't fit the vibe though. Here's the rest of the raccoon family. Envelope. It's a different pages. Here's a cluster idea. A bag for a pocket. Just a cluster. I was learning to do clusters. This is a prompt 24. This was supposed to be a writing board. This is an envelope butterfly belly band. This is an altered envelope idea. Not part of the prompt. The prompts have the number. 4 was recycled art and coin envelope. So here's my coin envelope. And my art is a beautiful artwork by someone who's very special. Different size papers. Here's some material from the cover. An envelope idea. Another envelope idea, turning it into a house pocket. Another tag that I made for an idea, vintage vibe all the way. Another idea, pocket idea. I love making these. Here's prompt 15. What was prompt 15? Metal and photo. And of course, the animal was the pink flamingo. And I happen to love Tinkerbell and all the fairies. So that's how that came to be. Here's prompt 3 with the penguins. And this comes down for writing space down there. This is an envelope. And it's a pocket on the side. But on this side, it's number 9. And it's a pocket. Number 9 was collage, fodder, and junk mail. Just a tag collage. Prompt 19, this is a pocket. There's the other coin envelope with another piece of artwork. It was the tortoise. Just a cluster. Another tag idea, pocket idea. Another just idea, something I made and I just stuck in there. This one, I can remember Louisa doing this one. Number 10. This was the leaves and envelopes. And so this all opens up. And there's a little message inside. Oh, daily ephemera inspiration in December. That was fun. And then a belly band, prompt 17. I love peacocks, so there's peacocks in here. Here's some of the Art by Marlene stuff that was in the Advent calendar. Cluster. There's another prompt, 18. With the fish and the notepad. Book page turned into an envelope with a passport, photo ID idea. So this has started to become my idea book. Another tag turned into a pocket, book page pocket. Another idea. This was prompt 20. This was lots of fun to do. Grunge and snippet strips. So that's a whole process there. More peacock, matchbook. Prompt 14. More peacock, just because I have a lot. A little book page pocket idea. This is prompt 12. This comes out. So this was prompt 12. Lace and a postcard. I'm not sure where the postcard went. And then we have this one. Prompt 7 was handwritten memory and loaded tag. And so Pooh Bear is very special memory. So that goes there. Prompt 5. That was fun to make. Here's another large matchbook note pad idea. Here's the toucan. Altered playing card. Did I put that in the pocket? That's a little pocket there. Prompt 11. It's hard to see. Prompt 22. This is an envelope. It opens up. And journal card. This was my favorite one. This was prompt 1. This is my favorite page in the whole book. Love, love, love it. And then we get into some real funky stuff. So we have the elephant. This was prompt 6. I think it was feathers and a bingo card. So there's the bingo card. And the feathers are actually the earrings on the elephant. Then this one is something that I just did as just exploring different things. And I love how that turned out. Prompt 2, we have the giraffe. And then the last, the last one was, this is actually a paper bag. And this is prompt 23. And then I ended it with the box from the Art by Marlene Advent. Did you enjoy Memory Lane? This year, I'm going to use this journal. I'm bringing it back because as you saw, there's many, many, many empty pages. and I would like to fill it up with more ideas. I'm bringing this back so that all the ephemera pieces that I do here will go in to this journal. And that way I don't have to make a new journal. I can fill up one that I already have. And finally, I'm going to use the Spellbinders Crafty Advent Calendar from last year. These are pricey. $75 Canadian. Whew! But it was on sale because it's last year's. And my craft store in town, the Craft Hive, put it on sale. And I got one for this year's Defemerember. I'm very excited. Oh, look at the boxes. Ooh, we can use some of these prints. Oh, that'll be so much fun. With the prompt list, as you can see, there's not a video every day. And that's on purpose to give you time to catch up or to do something else because you got stuff you have to do in December. And so it's a little bit easier to do. So I'm always going to be one day behind Barbara and Louisa because I have to watch their videos and then come up with my version of it. So I'll always be a day behind, but it works out because of all of these times. So a day off, I think that's the Wednesday, and then the weekend day off is the Wednesday, and so forth and so on. So I think it's going to work out really well. I hope that you will check out Barbara and Louisa's YouTube channels to follow along, and that you'll enjoy my versions of their prompt list. Page tab and moth-eaten lace, floating pocket and bold numbers, forgotten snacks, a flip out and pressed flowers gone wild, altered pocket and texture fragments, clusters and tangled threads. Whoo! It's going to be a wonderful, creative December. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.